Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of them slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, that.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Sabe got this bitch off the hand, got this juice, got this drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost.
Hey! One West! One West! One West! One West! One West!
Coming up on my I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we stamped it authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bullshit. West till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I be One West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm One West till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been as proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they heat's on, none of them can get to the fire. Around with me, and I had a nigga spin like a tire. But down the deep, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because U.P.K. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. We dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspire. Cross the line, the firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin on kindness. I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch. Don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K. top, dawg. Certified road
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch. Fuck you talking about? If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All they niggas wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time, get a damn no. But I see the sorrow and I show her. She could never get a piece whole. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jewelry. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't nothing to me. Bass up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, that clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you're scoring off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing me to damn kill you. I was stalking his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy? Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Backstage.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga.
I bet when Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no hoe to lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop just stressed the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jackie. So time war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light work. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain frame. Shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitch about 10%. I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him. Just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody won't be Richard Porter. God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign. Yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
All right, clap it up, Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Elatham, Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. This is the Tuesday night class. And tonight's class is Who is Your Enemy? Because it seems a whole lot of us have forgotten who our enemy is. Our enemy is not your brother. Your enemy is not your sister. Your enemy is the same races, the same nations that you hear about in the Bible. The Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hamites, the Canaanites, the Moabites, the Amorites, Ammonites, all of them. That's your enemies. Not the blacks, Hispanic, and Native American Indians who make up the 12 tribes of Israel. That's not your enemies. Your enemies is the ones who had us under slavery. And every nation has had us under slavery. But this is the worst slavery that we have been in because they took away our whole identity and gave it to somebody else. And with that, is there anybody on the conference call?
Shalom, y'all by Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Sean checking in.
Y'all by Shem Yahshua Barakatah. How you doing tonight, Adawan?
I'm hanging out. How about yourself?
Oh, doing 12. All right, I got you down. All right, you know the drill. You don't put your phone on mute. You got any questions or comments, sir? You know to unmute. And with that, let's get into a couple of scriptures here, because it seems some of y'all forgetting about who our enemies are. Some of you cats out there, you trying to teach like I.S.U.P.K teach, but you're off. You ain't right. You'd rather turn your own people in. You want to jump your own people. And then we got some of our own people that's helping the heathen. You'd rather stand around and record. Put your own people on TikTok getting beat down. Like, that's cool. That's not cool. Do I have anybody to read for me?
Come on, I'm available.
All right, the water, Adawan. All right, could you pick me up at 1 John 4:20?
Come on. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
He is a liar. And a lot of you cats out there lying. You say you love your brother, but your actions don't speak louder than your words. Just because you said that don't mean that you love your brother. And by hating your brother, when you show your actions by hating your brother, by jumping your brother, by shooting your brother, by wanting to kill your brother, by lying and stealing from your brother. Want to call the cops to have your brother arrested. That's your brother. And you know what they say about that lying, you know, hey, you'll steal from your brother. If you lie to your brother, you'll steal from your brother. You know? Sir, if you may, continue.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
Right. How you going to love God? How you going to say you ain't even seen God? You ain't not seen this man, but you see your brother every day. Because hating your brother, you hating God, because we're in his image. We're the nation of Israel. We're supposed to be like the Most High. We're supposed to be like God, walking his ways, just like Christ. When Christ was here, how did he walk? He walked in righteousness. He loved his people. Hell, he made the ultimate sacrifice to save us. He did not hate us. So what? And if he did not hate us, and he's in the image of Christ, and Christ, well, Slacky, Christ said, if you see me, you've seen the Father. So that means his actions, his ways, and the way that he came here to teach us is the same way that the Father moves in heaven. And that's the same way that we're supposed to be moving, to love your brother, to not hate your brother. Sucker, could you read that for me one more again?
Con. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
Right. We have not seen hide nor hair of God. But yeah, you run around talking about you love him, especially you Christians. You Christians got that real bad. But as soon as somebody turns their back, you talking about them behind their back. You want to, you Christian pastors, you know, you want to sleep with the next man's wife. You want his child, and you want the husband. All at the same time, like y'all some, boy, oh, y'all some wicked, filthy, disgusting people. Can you continue for me, sir? Verse 21.
Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loves God love his brother also.
Right. This is commanded. He told us that we love him to love your brother also. And you're not showing that brotherhood. You do not love your brother. Because if you did, you would not treat your brother the way you treat him. You would not jump your brother. You would not want to call the cops. You would not want to turn your brother in for 30 shekels. You know what I'm talking about. Purple gang. Purple people eater. The purple part of the rainbow. The LGBTQIYC. You know, you're wrong. You can't say that you love the most. Sock. Sir?
Nah, Sloggy, what you bringing out now, right now, is so heavy, you know. It's just like, I was thinking about a scripture earlier. When we were reading that scripture right there in 1 John, it made me think about another scripture. It just, you know how we sit there and listen to these Christians and stuff out here, and he can go for those purple people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know how we always hear the Christians say, my God is a merciful God. He is so merciful and all this and that. You know, I had it did make me think. I had a precept. The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verse 26. And it says, with the merciful, thou wilt show thyself merciful. Meaning, you know, if you believe God is a merciful God, you know, you're supposed to be as God, and as Christ as well, because they were all merciful.
Right.
And, you know, you supposed to show yourself being merciful, and that goes for like those purple people. You know, they wasn't merciful.
Exactly.
Because how they instigated that situation. And it says, and with the upright man, thou will show thyself upright. Upright means carrying yourself right, walking right, doing right. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to see who's really in the earth following the Most High God. And we know the men and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K under the command of Yahanna, we the true merciful people. But look at the work we doing at the borders and stuff. We ain't seen those purple people, out here helping the Lord's people the way they should be. The way God designed us to be upright. And walk upright.
Hey, so water for that. And you are right. You are so right. Because the I.S.U.P.K, we're the only ones who went down to the border. Because look, even when Haitian brothers, what happened with them, we were right there at the border. Even though they told us to go around and told us, hey, why don't you give it to the church? Like, what the church need it for? They're gonna try to keep it and distribute it out to them, to their own selves. And if it wasn't for them, that filthy, disgusting Martin Luther the Queen, we pretty much would not be in a situation. It wouldn't be as bad as it is now, because he's the one who wants to integrate us to our enemies. And then it's not that we don't know who our enemy is or forgot who our enemy is. It's that integration, it has taught us to love them, to forget about it, to attach ourselves to the enemy, and hey, look, we can be friends and all this and that, all because he wanted the pale woman. And let's see, if you could, Adawan. And because and right now, a lot of us are angry. What you angry about with your brother for? I mean, you mad because of what? I mean, is this something that you can't forgive your brother? You got to be so mad at him that you can't forgive him? Because a lot of times we angry for like unnecessary, simple stuff that can be resolved. I'll put it like this. If you're walking down the street and the wind is blowing and you go to spit and the wind carries your spit and it hits your brother in the face, you would get mad. You would be ready to fight and kill your brother.
Right.
But if it was another race, oh man, hey, don't worry about it. I didn't mean it. Hey, the wind was blowing and this, that, and the third. Like, hey, hey man, I'm sorry. You hold on for 1 second. Right, so even if it was vice versa, you would bow down. You'd be like, oh, don't worry about it. Hey, the wind blowing. No, I didn't mean it. I know you didn't mean it. Go ahead, sir.
When you talk about so heavy, it's good that you started class all the way you did, especially with these scriptures, and it's a hell of a topic, and like that spitting in the wind deal, it's just like when you were talking about, being mad at your brother like that, and we were reading in 1 John 4, 4 and 20, about loving your brother. And hate him, and how you feel about God. How you gonna say you love God and you ain't never seen him? It goes right along with, I think, what is it, Ecclesiastes 7:7, when it say oppression make a wise man mad, and guilt destroys the heart. When you out here killing your brother for no reason, or stealing from your brother, or stealing with your brother's wife or something like that, that go to show you, and you mad. That goes to show you what you're mad about. You're not wise.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the hate that you have for your brother to go against him that way. When oppression make a wise man mad, you know what I'm saying? You are actually mad at your true enemy and not your brother. Salakia.
Khan. Someone say Salakia.
Salaki, how about you, Shabbat?
Yahweh Shem Yahweh. So, Lord Christ, how you doing, Adawan?
I'm Tuab, where you Tuab?
Khan Wakan. I got you down,
I
sir.
just want to step in and say excellent job. Also, if you would, you go ahead and pull your scriptures for yourself and read until we get someone 50, a trooper young man in to read for you.
Khan Wakan. No sweat,
All
sir.
right, the water warrior.
I am the bar. And since a lot of us have forgotten who our enemy is, let's just remind you. Let's go to let's see, I'm gonna pick us up at Psalms 83. Bear with me for 1 second. Let me see. Let's see. We'll start with 83. Psalms 83. And we'll go to verse. Here we go. Verse 2. For Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemies. Oh, come. So what is?
The book of Psalm chapter 83, verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a turmoil, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
Come.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Stop right there. They have, because this is telling you all these nations, they have come together to take crafty counsel against you, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian man, woman, and child. They have taken crafty counsel. In other words, they coming together against us, having counsel like, hey, how can we keep these people down? How can we keep them under our foot? You know, because they do hate us. They don't care. They do not like us. You may think they do, but no, they don't. Deep down inside, these other nations, if it was up to them for us to stay in this slavery right now, we would. They would keep us right here where we're at, struggling on child support, paying back child support. You know, what else? Abortions, drugs in our communities, guns, anything that they can do to keep us down, and any devices that they can devise against us, they will do that. And can you pick us up at verse 4?
Verse 4. They have said, come, and let us cut them off for being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right. And how do they cut us off? By giving us their laws, by giving us their gods, worshiping their gods. You know, we're not worshiping the Most High. We're not following his law, statutes, and commandments that he gave us. To cut us off, you know, keep us from our power. Because they know if we come together and we do that, we will be so powerful. We would be on top. They would be at the bottom. They're the ones who would have to come to us for loans. They would have to come for us for merchandise. So we will, and look, we're not in remembrance anymore. Up till now, up till 1969. Now we're coming back to remembrance. And be thankful for Commanding General Yahanna for not dropping his sword and being given the rank of general and leading this nation. Let's give Commander General Yahanna a hand. The water. For keeping this truth going. Because for a long time, we wasn't remembered of being Israel. Because, and how was that? Because look, what was we called? We called Negroes, the colors, the niggers, African Americans. You know, we were stripped of our identity, of our language. Our inheritance was taken from us, our land, all that. Look who's residing where we're supposed to be residing. They're just raping that land. Right. They got our culture, they got our nationality. If you could continue, sir. Read.
Verse 6.
Hold
verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Right. Somebody say Salakia.
Khan. It's Trooper in the Posh Ride checking in for class.
Shalom, Lord of Christ. How you doing, Op?
I'm Kawhi by the wine. Y'all about to
All right. Put your phone on mute if you would. If you have any questions or comments, you know to unmute. Oh, Salakia. Right. Napash Ra'ib. Hey, can you go ahead and read for me? All right, we're at Psalms 80. We're at Psalms 83. And 6. 83 and 6.
Verse 3 and 6. Oh, okay,
83 and 6. Psalms 83 and 6. So what, Op?
I on the bar, sir. I'm getting it right now.
Right. And as I was saying, they have consulted against us with one consent. Because that one consent, hey, look, they all in agreement. Right. Let's keep them destroyed. Let's keep them down. We gotta keep finding ways to keep them from coming together, from worshiping their God, for following their God's law, statutes, and commandments. Right. We got to keep them from their history. We got to keep them destroyed. We cannot let these people rise up and come against us. You got me,
Khan.
Okay, read.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarim.
Keep reading.
Verse 7. Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Verse 8. Ashur also is joined with them. They have opened in the children of Lot. Selah.
Right. These are... No, stop right there. Right. And these are just some of the nations. These are their biblical names. Right. Now, their names today, who are your enemies? You got the Moabites, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Africans. You got the Middle East. And actually, the Africans are the original Egyptians. Right. They all confederate against us. They have all coming together like, hey, look, let's keep these people down. Let's not let them raise up, for they'll come against us. We'll perish. Right. We don't want that. We want to keep our power. All right. If you could pick me up at Matthew 5 and 22. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Hey, so that's a real heavy point. that you brought up, you understand, with these other nations that are confederate against us, you understand that how they have all conspired against us. You understand how you said how they want to keep our power away from us. You understand that they want to make sure that they don't perish, that they stay in power.
Right.
You understand? It's so heavy because we can see that in today's time. You understand? Far from the ancient days of the Old Testament. You understand? Like we see how the so-called Jewish man has kept us in bondage. We see how the Africans are doing it. You understand? The East Indians.
Right.
You understand? We can look at our oppression now. You understand? We see how the East Indian man, you understand, like he has all the gas stations. You understand? The creek market. The same with the Arab man.
Right.
You understand? We see how Amalek, who is the so-called Jewish man, we see how he's running so many industries, especially our music industry. You understand? Where he hires us to talk bad about each other. You understand? He hires us to degrade and discredit one another. You understand? But the moment that we want to quote unquote rise up, you understand, and try to help our brother, help our sister through our music, now all of a sudden there's a problem. You understand?
Right.
That's where that conspiracy comes in. You understand? And our people need to hear this message. You understand? Like this is what's so special and powerful. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Like teaching our people the Bible, because I didn't even know before coming to. I had no idea who my enemy was.
Right.
You understand? I was always thought that my enemy was just somebody who, you understand, breaks into my house. You understand? Try to take my car and something like that. But to think that really my enemy is the nation who put me in that kind of position. You understand? Who put me in that poverty? Who put my brother in you understand? Who put my brother in a position where he felt that he has to rob me. You understand? To come out. You
right.
To survive. You understand? When we hear about the crabs in the bucket, we hear about so many stereotypes. We have to think about who gave us those stereotypes. And so who put us in that position? You understand? And it is our enemies. You understand? The Africans, the Arab man, especially you know saying the so-called white man. You understand? Our oppressors. You understand? That's a great point. It's a lot.
So water for that, Adawan. Give him a hand for that. That was heavy. I like that. That's right. Salakia, Officer the Pasha, we have anybody online?
Okay, let me see.
Any comments?
Okay, we had a recent one from a cause right here. That downright big ups Commander General Yahanna for not dropping his sword. Right. Keep this truth going on since 1969. And you'll have Sister Marna checking in. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Thaba Shem Yahushua. And you also have Sister Banaf Shema. She just chimed in. Shema Yahweh Shema Al Thaba Shem Yahushua checking in for Augusta, Georgia. There were links. The latest comments. Go ahead.
All right, it's the water. Hey, the water for everyone that checked in on YouTube. Shalom, Lord of Christ. The water.
Oh, thanks. Slaughter. That's noise. Okay, yes. Sister Jasmine chimed in. That's long Christ family. Yahweh Shema Thaba Shem Yahushua. Trooper Napash Royale's real. Sister Jasmine checking in from Decatur, Georgia. Also, you have Sister Marna in the building. Shalom Yahweh Shema Thaba Shem Yahushua. River Officer Hadar Mall checking in.
All right, the water for checking in. Whether you're on YouTube or conference call, the water for that. All right, let's get back in these scriptures. And but yeah, you can't be angry with your brother, knowing that all these, as the Ottoman just said, all these other races out here trying to hold us down, trying to keep us down. We cannot be angry with each other. We are not each other's enemies, And let's see what Christ got to say about that. Warrior, if you can, pick me up at Matthew 5:22.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Right. And this
whosoever
Oh, you good, you good. Go ahead.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council.
All right, stop right there. Right. You angry with your brother without a cause. You talking about rocker, foolish, fool, you foolish, for no apparent reason. You have no reason to be angry with your brother unnecessarily. And judgment, hey, look, judgment is punishment. And if you have to go to council, I don't think you really want to do that, because if you have to go to council of the men that's in charge of Israel right now, boy, that's something I don't think you really want to do that. Try to avoid that. Just treat your brother how you would want to be treated. Treat him with respect. As a matter of fact, I don't know. All right, continue reading. But whosoever
shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
Right. Hellfire, not literally, but you'll be catching hell. Because you got a lot of brothers and sisters out here, they be like wondering why things ain't going right for them. Why, damn. Why did this happen? Why did my favorite baby nephew die? Or why can't I get my bills paid? I lost my job. I'm struggling right now. That's why, because you're not treating your brother or your sister how you're supposed to treat them. Matter of fact, Warrior, right? Go to Matthew's. Go to Matthew's. What is it? 10 and I think 12. 10 and 10 and 12.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 12.
Hold on for a second. Okay, Khan, that's right. Slack you. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 12. And when ye come into a house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it.
All right, stop right there.
But if it
right. When you go to your brother, even if it's not a house, when you see your brother on the street, to salute him is to greet him. Greet him with respect, greet him with kindness, tenderness. You see how these other races treat us? Think to yourself, man, you know what? We're not being treated right. I need to treat my brother better than what they treating us, so I can be a brother to my brother. I can love my brother. I can love my sister. When you go into the house, let it be peace amongst you, whether it be at your house, at your job, just walking down the street, But that's how Christ has commanded us. That's how the Most High has commanded us to do. That's how we're supposed to treat each other. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Now, that was as small as that scripture is, that's a very heavy scripture to bring out for this class to understand. So when you come to a man's house, when you come up to a man, salute him. You understand? No. And that's one thing, especially that I learned, you understand, being in this truth. To right. Love and respect my brother. You understand? Even if I don't know who he is, you understand, just knowing that he's a brother, you understand, that he is suffering just like me. He's on the come up just like me. You understand? You will be surprised. Instead, like when you're just walking down the street and you see another black man, Latino man, any man, and your eyes meet, and you just say, "Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing?" You understand? Like that like, and how you say, like, that creates peace amongst men.
Right.
You understand that? Just that simple greeting, you understand, can cut down any division. You know what I'm saying? Cut down any division, cut down any tension between brothers, between strangers. You know what I'm saying? Just by extending out, metaphorically the olive branch.
Right.
You understand? By greeting him with peace. You understand? You ain't gotta say no shalom, none of that stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shalom. How you doing, brother? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Even if you just say, what's up, brother? You know what I'm saying? Showing that, that hey, I come in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, there's no smoke around here. You know what I'm saying? It's only a mutual respect.
Right.
You understand that? And that can like really save lives and essentially, you know what I'm saying, save the nation. So,
hey, the water for that, Adawan. Like, that's a real heavy point. You know, I didn't look at it like that. I'm glad you brought that out. You know, and that's what we need to start doing more of. You know, don't walk past your brother with your face all scrunched up. You know what you angry for? You know, you ain't got to have your face all twisted, all, one lip going one way, the other lip going the other way. Go ahead.
This is young man Gabriel checking in.
Hey, y'all Brakatha. How you doing, young man Gabriel?
I'm doing 12. How about yourself?
Doing good. I'm Tawab.
And Salakia, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
If it's okay with you, I was hoping to be your reader.
Khan, no sweat, warrior. All right, if you will. Someone says Salakia. Oh, Shalom, Lord of Christ. How you doing? All right, I'm Tawab. All right, I got you down. And if you guys would, put your phones on mute. If you have any questions or comments, to chime in. It's to say Salakia, and to chime in. All right, I got you both down. All right. Young man Gabriel, if you will, pick me up at Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Let me know when you got it. But yeah, we need to remember who our enemies are, who our true, real enemies are. Right. It's not your brother, it's not your sister, it's not the person that looks like you. Your neighbor is a people of your own nation, not the person that lives next door to you. And as far as like, you got these the Moabites out here, they're not your friends either, because they get away with killing us too. What's the sister's name in California back in 91? Latasha, hold on, I have it. I believe it's Latasha Harlins. And then it was George Floyd when they killed him. It was another Asian officer, Tao, or whatever his name is, who held the crowd back, who was holding everybody back, while they was choking him out. He had something to do with George Floyd's death too. So, yeah, that's a prime example of who your enemies are. You got that for me, warrior? All right, go ahead and read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine one enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness.
Stop.
And in want of.
Stop right there. Right. He said he was gonna send us to our enemies. We was gonna serve our enemies And where are we at now? Serving our enemies. And we are in thirst. And we are in hunger. Because you look at it, how high prices are now. You know, look at the foods that we eat. You know, you go in grocery stores, you struggling to make ends meet every week. And Lord knows if you get paid every 2 weeks, that's really, oh boy. Right. You know, that's really kind of rough sometimes. You get paid every 2 weeks, knowing that your kids is hungry, your wife hungry, everybody's complaining. You know, you got your baby crying because your baby's hungry. You know, and then, you know, thirst. You know, a lot of times when you go on these jobs, you know, you got to wait to go to lunch. You know, you got to wait to go get something to drink. And then when you do try to go snack in between, you know, you got some supervisors that, where you been to, you know, hey, you know, no eating on this, that, and the third. Like, hold on, like, wait a minute. Right. You know, like, especially if you got a manual labor job, there should be no problem with you snacking in between. You know, like, you know you're going to be thirsty. They know you're going to be thirsty, but that's how we are as we serving the slavery. You know, go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right. Because we're in want of all things and nakedness. And that's what they did. They put a yoke of iron upon our necks, and they have utterly destroyed us. But thank the Most High, thank the Commander General Yahanna, thank the I.S.U.P.K and Commander General Yahanna for water. Yeah, you know what? I can never stop thanking Commander General Yahanna for building up I.S.U.P.K and fighting for this truth. Because without it, hey, look, man, this right here, man, y'all need to just come on in order to understand the operation of I.S.U.P.K. Commander General Yahanna, he's running it just like the Most High, just like God runs heaven. You know, you want to know how he knows everything that's going on in Israel? The same way the Most High knows what's going on down here. Council meetings. You think he don't have counseling with the angels? That's how the Most High knows everything. You know, you don't think the angels going back and forth to and fro. It tells you in the Bible. Satan himself, he asked Satan himself, and Job, where you been? To and fro the earth. Jacob's ladder, to and fro the earth. You know, so don't think the Most High don't know everything that's going on. You know, and the way that the Most High is running it, the same way Commander General Yahanna is running the I.S.U.P.K. And it's all done in righteousness. It's all done in rank order. You know, counseling. You need help with anything, you know, you come out and get counsel. Ain't nobody gonna bite your head off. You know, hey, it's all up to you though, because we gotta get this kingdom, Israel. We gotta come together. We gotta stop fighting against each other. You know, hey, look, our ancestors all came into slavery together. Whether you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, they went into slavery too. Now, as a matter of fact, the transatlantic slave trade started with the so-called American Indians when Columbus came over here. Right. You know, and all these other nations, they found it lucrative, very lucrative, to put us into slavery. I'm talking about, hey, they got paid. Oh boy, did they get paid? All right, let's get some more of this. Young man, Gabriel. Pick me up at Matthew's 10 and 5. Because even Christ was like, hey, you know what? You know, Christ was like, hey, look, I'm not here for all these other nations. I'm only here for my people. Let me know when you got that, warrior. You know, he's like, hey, I'm only here for my people. I didn't come to save everybody. You got that for me? All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not unto the way of the Gentiles.
Stop right there. Stop right there. He said, do not go into the way of any Gentiles. And in this case, what he's saying right here, the Gentiles is mean these other nations. In this context, the Gentiles is these other nations. He said, do not go into these, don't go to these other nations, because I'm not here for them. I'm here for you. And you're my disciples, and I'm sending you to where I want you to go. And that's the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Don't go to these other Gentiles. They don't need to be saved. And at that time, it was what, the Roman Empire? That was the ruling kingdom, Esau's ruling kingdom at that time. So yeah, I mean, that's their kingdom, that's their heaven. Just like now, this is their kingdom, this is their heaven. What do the water, sir? You know, what do they need saving from? What do they need help with and saving from? Hey, I'm not here for them, is what Christ is saying. Go ahead, read.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans. Enter ye not.
Right, enter ye not. Read that again for me.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans. Enter ye not.
Right, enter ye not. Do not go into the cities. Don't go into the towns and villages. That's not who I'm here for. Because Christ knows that, hey, that's my enemies. Christ knows who his enemies are, and he knows who your enemies are. And that's why he told them, hey, look, this is my disciples, you're my disciples. Do not go into their cities. Don't go into the towns. You know, don't go to them. Go to our people, and our people only. That's who we came here for. Because the Most High, Christ, and in the I.S.U.P.K, we know who our enemies are. Come in here, you will learn who your enemies are. You think we may be wrong. Oh, you know, why don't you like such and such? Why don't you like? Because they're not our people, and we've been loving them too long. All the love that we keep giving them is as much love as we give them is as much hatred as we give to each other. If we give love to each other the way that we give to these other races, hey, we'll be all right. We will be all right. But we're not doing that. Let me see. Because the way the Bible describes them, they are definitely going into captivity. They are going to be up under us. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it at? Hold on, y'all, man, Gabriel. I want you to go to where is it at? Go to Amos 9:4 for me. Go ahead.
Hey, Shalom.
How you doing, Adawan?
Man, fighting. That's all I can do.
All right. That's what's up. Hey, keep fighting, priest.
All I can do. What you got? What's I ain't even look at the top.
Oh, who are your enemies? Who your enemies are? Who is your enemy?
Damn, that's a heavy topic right there.
Hey, it's the water. You good? Hold on. Matter of fact, Salakia, young man, Gabriel. Go to matter of fact, yeah, Khan. Pick me up at Amos. You got that?
Salakia, it was Amos 5 and 10.
Hold on for 1 second. If I recall, that's what it was. No, Salakia. Amos 9 and 4.
Salakia. Khan.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 4. And though they go into captivity before their enemies.
Stop right there. Stop right there. And though they go, right, even though we went into captivity with our enemies, don't think the Most High forgot about that. Don't think the Most High forgot us. This is for your this is the Most High showing His power towards our enemies, towards your enemies. Look what He did in Canada and New York. Anything bad that happens to these other races is good for you, because that's the Most High showing His power. He said, "Hey, look, I'm taking revenge for y'all. Like, come on, I need y'all to get it together." And even though we went into captivity before our enemies, go ahead, read.
Then will I command the sword, and it shall slay them.
Stop right there.
Stop
right there. Most High He will command the sword. He will slay your enemies. When Christ returns, hey, look. All these other nations, what they doing to us, hey, they're gonna catch it. Because what's the sword today? Because they slaying us every day with their swords. You got guns, they guns, they tanks, and all right. They guns, they knives. Go ahead, sir.
Like if I could, that's a real heavy point. With the different weapons.
Hold on for a second.
With the different weapons that our oppressor has brought against us. You understand how you said they have the guns. You understand, but not just that. They put drugs in our community.
Oh, Khan.
They put drugs in our community. They have used the weapon of the media against us as well. You understand, with the propaganda.
Right.
We had talked before about the stereotypes that they put on us. So now other nations will believe it as well, and will treat us a certain way. You understand? Even with the media, how they use the propaganda, and even how they use now a weapon against us that's working very well. Unfortunately, is living an alternative lifestyle.
Oh,
you understand?
Heavy.
That's a very heavy weapon. You understand? Because what else? Our people are the ones. Our people are the ones who are dying of AIDS.
Right.
You understand? Our people are the ones whose lives are expiring because of other sexually transmitted diseases. You understand? Like there are so many weapons against us. You understand? But still, how you said, like we still don't know who our real enemy is.
Right.
And that's what's so important about this class, understand? Because this lesson is coming directly from the Bible, showing the black man, the Latino man, and the Indian man who your real enemy is. And I promise you, it is not that black man. As much as our leaders have failed us, as much as our leaders have sold us out,
right?
You understand? Like our true enemy is the ones who blocked them. You understand? Our true enemy is the one who had us in chains. You understand? For hundreds of years ago, for centuries. And so our true enemy is one who peddles the drugs in our community. Our enemy is one who tells our children that it's okay to live an alternative lifestyle. It's okay to go against what God said. And so our real enemy is the nation who fed us literally slave food. You understand? Like the swine, the bottom feeders, the shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. They told us it's a delicacy. Those are our real enemies because that's the kind of food that will kill us. And keep perpetuating and promote generational curses and sicknesses throughout our families. Like,
wow, that's excellent. That's a heavy point, Adawan. Go ahead.
So like if I could, if I could piggyback off you know what I'm saying, what Officer Hadar was saying, like, you know what I'm saying, the thing that destroy our neighborhood, like, we look at it and think it's simple things, right? You know what I'm saying? But the education that we got to send our kids to school every day, right?
Right.
That destroys our people, right? That destroys our people because they're not teaching them what we need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's destruction. Like that's slow. That's like slow destruction. That's like you having a damn cancer and it's just killing you slowly because it's taking you away from what we ought to be taught. You know what I'm saying? And we're not being taught that. You know what I'm saying? And even dealing with, you know what I'm saying, like on your slavery or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll take away how you supposed to be or what you supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what us in the I.S.U.P.K. we kind of know that, right? You know what I'm saying? But if you see other brothers, you'll be like, man, you can kind of see which brothers are destroyed and don't have an understanding because they're chasing a dream that the white man. I ain't gonna say Salaki. I'm gonna say the white man. They're chasing a dream that the oppressor wants you to chase.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I say Salaki on that. I ain't gonna go through that.
No, you good. You good, Out. Hey, so water for that. Yeah, I mean, and that is so true, what you brought out. You know, you and Officer Adar, you know, y'all brought out some very good, heavy points, which is true. And that's how they destroy us. And that shows you how much they hate you. That's showing you that, hey, this is your enemy. Right. That's letting you know. If you don't know who your enemy is by now, after this class, the Lord be with you. Young man Gabriel. Hey, continue.
And I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good.
Right. And he shall set his eyes upon them for evil, and he will slay them. You know, he's talking about, hey, this is what he's going to do to your enemies. There's so many scriptures in here about what's going to happen to your enemies. Your enemies are going into captivity. That's right. You know, that's why we got to get it together. We got to kind of get in this I.S.U.P.K. and pray. And I pray that the Most High saves all of Israel. Right. You know, I don't want to see 2/3 go down. I want to see all of Israel live. That's right. You know, but get in this I.S.U.P.K. Learn these scriptures. Learn to follow, come back to your culture. Learn to follow the law, statute, and commandments that he gave us. You know, we come together and love and care about each other and realize who our real enemy is. Christ can return. We can get up out of here. We can be relaxed, chilling in our own kingdom. Right. You know what I mean? Young man Gabriel. Pick me up at let me see here. Obadiah 1:10.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Read that again.
And thou.
Start from again. Read that again.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Stop right there.
Shame shall.
For thy violence, because you look at it. We are Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. And the violence, especially from the pale people, the violence has been perpetual. It's continuous. And it's been against us. Majority is against us. And for that violence against us, hey, look, he's letting you know that I'm your enemy. I don't care about you. So why is he trying to make them your friends and make marriages with them when we've been commanded not to? Young man Gabriel, read that again for me.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Right. Shame shall cover thee. And what's that shame? That shame is because you know what you're doing to us. Right. You know how you've been treating us. You've been treating us worse than a stepchild. I don't think a stepchild has been treated as bad as they've been treating us. You pale faces, hey, look, y'all the main ones. Well, don't get it twisted. All the rest of you other races, you Africans, you Chinese, Japanese. Y'all got to pay too. Right. We ain't forgot about Latasha Harlins. Right. George Floyd. Right. And I forget the brother's name, most recent one. Well, yeah, Asian too. And definitely the way y'all be beating down our sisters when they go into y'all beauty salons and y'all nail shops, y'all just straight beat down our sisters. You don't think that you ain't gonna pay too. Right. This violence is just not towards us from the pale people. Right. So hey, look, y'all got to pay too. Read that again for me.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob,
stop right there.
Shall cover thee.
Stop right there. Right. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob. And it's been straight violence. We've been getting gunned down in the streets. Right. And it's not just physical. As Adawan said earlier, our beatdown is also coming from the drugs, from the guns that you flooded into our neighborhoods, abortion clinics. Right. That's violence too. Right. Y'all setting that stuff up in our neighborhoods to kill our women, to kill our babies. Right. You tell our women, hey, look, you want to get a degree, kill your baby, put your man out the house. Don't let him have a say so. That's part of the violence too. The liquor stores. Go ahead and read again. Read that for me again.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right.
And boy, I can't wait for that, boy. Because when they serve out slavery, they're gonna be cut off. Right. For good. Like they're gonna start slowly dying out. As the more that slavery comes to an end, the more they're going to start dying out. They're not going to be producing children. Right. No, ain't going to be no more of that. Y'all got to go. Your whole race is done for. You're too violent. You have a very, bloodlust? Right. A very strong bloodlust. You don't care what you kill, who you kill, where you kill it at. You go around this whole world destroying other races. You know, and Jacob, the 12 tribes of so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, who make up the tribes of Manasseh, Puerto Ricans. Who else? You got the Seminole Indians. You got the North American Indians. You got the Colombians. You know, and the Haitians, the West Indies. You know, that's your brothers down in Jamaica. That's your brothers and sisters too. You know, the Asher. You know, that's the Asher. Who else? Asher, Levi, Benjamin. You know, that's your brothers and sisters. Don't get it twisted. They're in this together. They're in this together with us too. When they say for like violence against Jacob, that's exactly who he's talking about. He's not just talking about us. He's talking about the whole 12 tribes, and that includes all 12 tribes. Let me see here. How much time do we got left? Okay, it's only 8:15. We got time for more scriptures here. Let's see. Pick me up, as a matter of fact. This is what the Most High thinks about all these other races. Young man Gabriel, Young man Gabriel. Pick me up at 2nd Ezra and the Apocrypha, 6 and 56. While you want them to be your brother, and you talking about, oh, I got ops. That's your ops right there. You want to run talking, oh, man, and my ops. Your ops is right in front of your face every day. Your ops is the one that's ruling over us. That's your ops. You want to talk about you got ops? You want to make your brother your ops, but you ain't going to make the real enemy your ops? You got that for me, warrior? All right, go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people which also come from Adam.
Right, stop right there. Stop right there. As for the other people that also come from Adam, you know, all these other races, you know, yeah, they came from Adam too. They came from Adam, but they're not your, hey, look, that's your enemy though. You know, that's your enemy though. They're not of your people. They're not of your race. Just because they came of Adam, the Most High separated them. He separated. We are his special children. You know, I'm sure every parent got that one special child. And we're the ones that became that one special child. Go ahead and read. Start from the beginning.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people which also come from Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
That they are what?
That they are nothing.
That they are nothing. But while you run around trying to be in their culture, you running around trying to want to be like them, because every time we go into slavery, that's the first thing we want to do. Oh yeah, we want to be like them. You know, you just forget about the Most High, huh? Forget about God. No, it don't work that way, my brother. You know, you want to run around and, you know, you want to put on, you know, what them martial arts, the gi. You want to run around, walking around wearing gis and Muslim dresses and little beanies on the top of your head, walking around bald headed. Well, he ain't. Most High didn't tell us. God didn't tell us to walk around like that. No. He didn't tell us to shave your head and just have a beard. He didn't tell you walk around with a dress and go worship no rock. Right. Go worship no fat Buddha. Talking about some Hong Kong doi or whatever that crap is. He didn't tell you to go learn the chicken scratch. He didn't tell you to what's another religion? He didn't tell you to become a conscious community, Egyptology and all that. He didn't tell you to go worship. You're not an Egyptian. He didn't tell you to go worship no Egyptian gods. That's not what it's supposed to do. Matter of fact, being a Muslim, that is not even an African religion. That was forced on them by the Arabs. They was conquered. The Africans was conquered by the Arabs. That's not even their religion. Go ahead and read.
This is Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 56.
Start from the
As
top.
for the other people,
Okay, you good. Slock you.
As for the other people which also come from Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
Be like unto what?
And unto spittle.
Unto spittle. They are nothing. A spittle. You know how when you spit, you might have a little small piece of corn kind of spit coming out your mouth, like a little piece of drool or something? That's what he thinks about them. A spittle, nothing. You ain't worried about that little drop. You know, you spit, you want to get rid of that, as a matter of fact. That's something you would want to separate from because it's no good. It's no good for you. You know, you turning away from the Most High. To be with them, to go worship their gods. Let's see, where we at? All right, read.
But be like unto spittle, and hath likened the abundance of them unto a drop that hath fallen from a vessel.
Right. You know how you got you like a little cup of water or a bucket of water, and you know, a few little drops, you know, might spill out. That's what he thinks about them. That's what it's talking about. He's not worried about them few little drops because you ain't worried about them few little drops. What you got to do? Run back and like, oh man, I got to refill my bucket because I dropped a little bit. No, you gotta let that go and keep it moving. And that's what the Most High wants you to do. These are your enemies. This is how you're supposed to treat your enemies. You're supposed to treat them like a drop of a bucket. And because Christ himself, he commanded us, look, y'all got to treat each other better than this. Matter of fact, pick me up at John 15 and 12. Let me get there with you. Let me know when you're ready.
Is this in the Apocrypha?
Oh, this is John 15 and 12. But yeah, the Most High, you know, hey, look, God is not playing with us. You know, because it's going to become a time where you're going to be forced to love and care about each other. You're going to be forced to stick together. Right. It's going to be a time where it's going to be so bad that all these other nations, they're going to be running to their own people. You know, they're going to stick to their own kind. And you can see that even now. Right. You can, like, you see, when that, what is it, Russia and Ukraine, when that first popped off, you seen even the boxers, even them boxers was running back to their country to fight for their country, right. You know, to defend their people. We don't have a country to go to. We do have a great power, though. Right. You know, so, hey, look, we got to stick together. You're going to have to come into this I.S.U.P.K. Right. You know, soldier up. Hey, look, cats running around, you know, talking about they got numbers. Hey, look, Nasty Nate, you got numbers, but guess what? Commander General Yahanna, he got soldiers. Soldiers trumps numbers all day, every day. You got that for me, warrior? Go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Read that again.
This is my commandment.
Stop right there.
That ye love.
This is Christ said, this is my commandment. This is a new commandment Christ gave us. That means what? That means it's like, hey, look, the old laws are not done away with. If this is a new commandment, then that means the old laws is still intact. Because Christ himself, he already said, hey, look, I did not come to destroy the law nor the prophets, but to fulfill. And he came to show us how to do the laws. When I say how to do them, how to follow them, how to initiate them, like actually do them. Don't just speak upon it and teach people, but show it. I'm going to show you how to do this. He said, this is a commandment that I give to you. Go ahead, read.
Oh God. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Right. That he has loved us. And how did he love us? How did Christ love us? Hey, look, he loved us by being the greatest sacrifice of all. He loved us by adopting us back to God. He loved us by being tortured when he didn't have to be. He didn't have to come off the throne. He was, hey, look, I'm sure he was probably chilling up there. He's like, hey, look, okay, look, I love my people. I love this nation. So look, let me go ahead, do what I got to do. He adopted us back. And if it wasn't for what he did, that brotherhood that he showed, boy, hey, ain't no telling what the Most High, hey, look, God could have restarted. Can't say that he can. Look, he can do what he want to do. Who are you or me or anybody else to say what he can or cannot do? Christians always talking about, oh no, that ain't God, that ain't of God. He's not evil. He don't do evil. To paraphrase right quick, if he don't do evil, then why did he say, hey, there's nothing in the city that I have not done, that no evil that I don't know of, that I didn't put my hand into it. Go ahead, read.
This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Right, read. Go down to 13.
Verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
Right. And that's what Christ did. He was the greatest friend of all. He laid down his life for us. He showed great brotherhood and by laying down his life for us. And the I.S.U.P.K, we laid our lives down for each other because we know this is our nation. This is our people. This is our heritage. This is our culture. We love this. We'll fight and die for this. Hey, look, we prepared. Up in here, we prepared. This is soldiers up in here. This is bloodline. This is family. So if you want to be a friend of Christ, get in this I.S.U.P.K and be a friend of the priests and prophets of the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yahanna.
That's right.
Go ahead, Kyle.
And so, if I could, just real quick, that's another heavy scripture that you brought up, showing how greater love have no man. What? This is Christ speaking.
Come, God.
Greater love have no man than this. A man lay down his life for his friends. For his friends, not his enemies. But
right.
His friends, someone who has love and respect, but also somebody who's of like-mindedness. understand? And this scripture is so heavy as well because you understand, like when we see other so-called Israelite groups, you understand, there's one in particular, you understand, where when they wanted to mock the I.S.U.P.K, you understand, because the I.S.U.P.K is quick to say, hey, I will live and die for my brother.
Right.
I will lay down my life to protect my brother. But one group in particular said that they wouldn't do that. You understand? They will only want to so-called lay down their life for Christ. You understand? They said they wouldn't even do it for their own leader.
Wow.
You understand? But which is interesting because that's an absolute contradictory to the scriptures.
Right.
You understand? When Christ says, you understand, that you will lay down your life for your friend. For your friend. You understand? And we know that, and this is how we know that the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. You understand? Because the I.S.U.P.K defends their brothers and their sisters. You understand? They put their lives on the line every day. You understand? We're just holding on to the truth. You understand? And going out into the streets. You understand? To feed the homeless. You understand? Give clothes to the homeless. You understand? Spread this truth out. You understand? Going on the streets. You understand? Like sharing the gospel. You know what I'm saying? Sharing and teaching the scripture. You understand? This is how you give your life for your nation. You understand?
Excellent. Get that brother a hand. Khan out of one Khan. Another excellent heavy point. You know, and that's what we do. That's what we do in the I.S.U.P.K. You got something?
Yeah, I got something to piggyback what Don Mama said. You know what I'm saying? The Lord had no greater, you know what I'm saying, commandment, you know, lay your life down for your friends. 1 John 3:18, you know, love is an action.
Right.
That's something you gotta do. You can't be on these comment sessions on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, talk about we love you, bro. It's repent out of love, and turn around and have another account talking about you, you know what I'm saying, condemning you, call you a gangster, call you a sinner.
Right.
Love your brother. You know what I'm saying? You just hate one another. You know what I'm saying? Just like in a Bruce relationship, you tell your wife you love her, but you might whore her out. Right. You might abuse her. Right. You know what I'm saying? You might put her on a street corner. That's not love. Right. That's a part of hate. There were the other societies, other nations always tell, oh, we love black people. I got black friends. That's right. When you get shot down the street, guess what? He not guilty. He out. But you will go on the street corner and say something, you get threatened to get attacked. It's not loving your brothers. Right. It is scripture, 1 John 3:18. My little children, does not love in word, neither in tongue. That means you saying a word and you just talking out of your mouth. Right. This is something you must do. This is a law right here from the Most High. But in deed and in truth, you got to do something. You got to do it righteously. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it the right way the Most High told you to. In deed and in truth. You got to put in the work and you got to put your whole spirit into it.
Right.
You up for that?
All right, the water for that. Give me a hand for that. You know, that was a heavy, very heavy point, very heavy scripture you just pulled. So water for that. You know, hey, look, you can't. You can't be a brother to your brother if you doing all that. If you going to get your brother talking bad mouthing him, backbiting, going behind his back and all that. You know, you can't. That's not brother. That's very unbrotherly. A young man, Gabriel.
Okay.
Pick me up at Matthew 18:21, because you got to start forgiving your brothers, man. Your brother is not your enemy. Stop treating your brother like he's your enemy. He's not your enemy. You know, we all going through the same thing, man. We going through, you know, it might be a different scenario. You know, you might have, you know, some situations might be worse than others, but hey, look, we still going through it, still catching hell. We're still in the slavery. You know, we still haven't been saved by Christ, by the Most High. You know, and as long as we here in this slavery, in this kingdom, hey, look, we got to come together. We got to love and care about each other. We got to show love towards one another. You know, we got to build. We got to build. We got to build for ourselves. You know, everybody keeps talking about, and even amongst some of our own people, hey, you know, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. You know, and that's what all these other races tell you too. Pull y'all been here for how long? You got to pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Well, guess what? Guess whose bootstrap we was? We are the pale man's bootstrap. We're the Asians' bootstrap. We're the so-called Jewish man's bootstrap. They're all making money off our backs. We are their bootstrap. So while they out telling you pull yourself up by your bootstrap, guess what? We're their bootstraps. How does that working out for you? You got that for me, Warrior?
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Right.
Peter, he had an altar with his brother, you know. He was like, hey, you know, he was asking a question, you know. How many times I gotta keep forgiving this cat? Like this cat, every time I see this cat want to run, he want to duck, dodge. You know, he coming out what I do, you know, we do face to face. You know, he wanna he wanna give you some jive BS story, you know, this, that, and the third. You know, what am I gonna do about this cat? You know, I'm coming to you for advice, for some counsel, you know, for some advice. Hey, you know, should I do harm to my brother? Should I beat him down? I mean, should I shake him up? Take my money that he owed me? No, how should I handle this? Read that again for me.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me?
Right, stop right there. He said, how often? You know, how often shall my brother sin against me? You know, hey, look, you know, he owed me money. You know, hey, look, you know, he took a couple of my sheep or whatever. You know, this, that, and the third. You know, what I need to do with this cat? How should I handle this? Because right now, I'm really to do him in. I'm ready to throw down. I'm ready to put his hands on his brother. Like, you know, I'm ready to go Tyson Holyfield on this cat. You know, go ahead, read.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Right, till 7 times. How many times should I forgive this cat? Because right now, he really about to be getting on my nerves, man. You know, so, hey, look, 7 times? I mean, you know, 7 times, that was my limit. Like, you know, this cat, you know, he keeps coming at me with, you know, all illmatic. Like, you know, he's sideways. You know, hey, look. You know I'm good with the sword, you know. We can handle this, you know, one-on-one with the sword. Go ahead, read.
Verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Read. Verse 22.
verse 22. Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
Right. And Christ told him, hey, look, 70 times 7, continuously. Don't stop. Keep forgiving him. But that doesn't mean that you got to keep, once you forgive him, that don't mean you got to keep dealing with this cat. Forgive him, move on. Hey, let it go. That's still your brother. Don't do harm to your brother. We can forgive each other. But when your enemy, when it's of another race, does something against you, that's an act of war. Right. You're supposed to be like, hey, yo, whoa, wait a minute. Hold your horses right there, partner. Like, hey, man, I ain't going for all that. Right. I know what you're trying to do. You think you're slick. Because you see my people are down and out. You think I'm going to be desperate like that to accept any deal that you got, knowing that you got to put me in a position to jack me up. Look at a lot of these athletes. You look at a lot of these entertainers. It's like they can't even barely make moves without somebody watching them. Right. Yo, boy, they can't even help do for their people, like not really do for them like they should. You got some, hey, this is my charity and this, that, and the third. But hey, I ain't never heard of no charity. Y'all keep talking about y'all got all these charities. I ain't seen hide nor hair. Y'all ain't help nobody in no ghetto, right. Nobody in no projects. Right. But you got all these charities. Where the money at? I mean, what y'all doing for your people? Like, a lot of y'all going over to Africa building schools. Y'all real charitable to them, to these foreigners. And it was so heavy what Gashan brought out last night about how she sent the money to Japan when they had an earthquake. Like, seriously, really? Like, man, come on. You gotta get it together, Israel. Get it together. Right. Just walk through the doors. Learn to be a brother to your brother. Right. Do we got time? Oh, Khan. What time is it? 8:42. Okay, Khan. We still got time for some more scriptures. Matter of fact, Gabriel, young man Gabriel, pick me up at Zephaniah 2:1.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. And who is that nation not desired? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Right. He's telling us, right here, hey, gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, because we're not desired. You think you can go into Chinatown and get you a job? You think you go to Chinatown and ask them for help? They got a Chinatown in what? New York? Probably Chicago, California. They stick to their own. They really don't want. I remember back in the day, like the 60s and 70s, they didn't even want you to learn martial arts. They wasn't even willing to teach you martial arts. They look at you like, hey, look, you're inferior. Go ahead, sir.
And that's why they killed Bruce Lee, because he was teaching us martial arts back in the 70s.
Right.
They called Jim Kelly. Stuff like that. That's why they killed him.
Wow. And I seriously wouldn't doubt it. We'd rather have you dead than to teach these niggas. We'd rather have you dead than to teach these savages. You know, these spics. Nah, yeah, we don't. Nah, you can't do that. We can't give our secrets away.
Right.
You know, we're not desired. Once again, you know, you got Rodney King beatings. You know, they don't even want you. They do not want you sitting at the table. I don't care how much money that you got, how much prestige that you think you got. Look at Oprah Winfrey. She's a billionaire. You think they still want? They still don't want her sitting at the table, because you look at it compared to them. Just because you're a billionaire, that's nothing but a crumb to them. They got this whole entire earth on lockdown. You know, this is their kingdom. They got this place on lockdown. That little bit, you think they care about that little $1 billion? You could have $5.6 billion. That ain't nothing to them. You know, hey, look, to them, you a millionaire to them.
And so, like, just real quick, if I could, that's a good point you brought up, because there was a story that circulated when Oprah, she was somewhere in Europe. She was, I believe, she was in Paris.
Right.
She was in Paris, and she went to a Tom Ford store.
Wow.
A Tom Ford store, and she wanted to. There was a purse that she was really interested in, and it cost around it cost between $5,000 and $20,000, and she wanted to buy it, and the people, the salespeople would not sell to her.
Oh wow!
They would not sell to her, and she asked the kid, "Say, you don't know who I am?" No, we don't know who you are. we figured you can't afford this. You should not be in this store.
Oh wow!
Yes, they embarrassed her. Yeah. They embarrassed her. You understand how you said it? That's Oprah Winfrey. She's one of the rich people in America.
Right.
And they embarrassed her in Europe, making her feel small, that she couldn't afford them. She couldn't afford anything in the store.
Wow.
You understand? And it's heavy how you said it. You understand? Like you read the scripture, gather yourselves together, old nation. You understand? We're always talking blacks, Latinos, Native Indians. But at the end of the day, it's just like the scripture says, we are one nation.
Right.
It says we are one nation. It doesn't say y'all get yourselves together, old nations, not desired. It says nation.
Right.
We are one people. You understand? We are one people. We're not each other's enemy. You understand? We're not each other's enemy. You understand? As much as the oppressor and the other oppressor has put us and tried to conquer and divide us, you understand? Have us fighting against each other. We are one people. We're not each other's enemies. You understand? We are each other's brothers. We're each other's sisters. We're each other's friends.
Right.
We are a family. You understand? That's what the I.S.U.P.K is teaching. Is teaching the earth, and teaching blacks, Latinos, and Indians that we are all one people.
Exactly.
You understand, man? And we can just follow that. You understand? We can get out of this captivity.
Right. Go ahead.
I'll tell you that what he's saying about Oprah Winfrey. She should have known about that since the 80s. That show, it had to be back in the 80s. About the Ku Klux Klan. They were sure accent, you know what I'm saying? Why they hated her so much. And one of the Klansmen said, we didn't like the Bible word on Negroes. We didn't like the Bible word, but we like black people.
Right, I remember that.
That means black people, that means that they confirm their ways.
Right.
Confirm American society, help build the country and nations up. While they still look at you as that byword. Right. Do it wrong, right. They still look at you with that byword.
Exactly.
She could have figured that out since the 80s. They already told her that. You went to Paris, you thinking like, okay, I'm a good black person, but just because I got money, I'm not that byword. So, but you know what? Guess what? They looked at her. To them, she still is that byword.
Right. Exactly. And see, she thought that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be well known, I can go overseas, I can go and go wherever I want, do whatever I want. She thought that just because she got that money and she could do that it was gonna be different.
Right.
I guess she had to think it was, what she thought it was gonna be. They're the same people over there, they're the same people here as they are over there.
That's right.
Ain't no difference. Matter of fact, Young man Gabriel.
Oh, God.
Drop me down to verse 12.
Oh, God.
And
The
this,
book is Zephaniah, chapter.
Slakia. Hold on for a second. This is for everybody who thinks that the Most High loves everybody. This is for everybody who thinks that, oh yeah, especially you Ethiopians, you're another race that stole our culture, our identity. Right. This is for you. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
Right. Ye Ethiopians. Yeah, you also going to be slain by the sword. Yeah, because ye know not who you worship. We know who we worship. You know? And you're not us. No, we are not the same people. We do not have them big bulb heads, them big light bulb heads that you got. And you want to run around getting mad because the fake Jews, the Jewish people over in Israel, you know, they talking about they kicking you out the land like you don't belong. Hey, look, you don't belong. You don't belong as much as they don't belong. You don't belong either. And no, you don't have the Ark of the Covenant, and you do not have any of our artifacts like you claim. So no. Read that again.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
Right. You shall be slain by the sword too. Because you're our enemies too. And one of the biggest reasons for being my enemy is that which you took our culture. You claiming our nationality also. Hey, look, no. We fighting in I.S.U.P.K, we fighting to get our names. We fighting to keep our culture, our nationality of who we are. We're fighting to get our inheritance in our lands. You know, we fighting for this. This is nothing that, we're going to leave it in the hands of God. You know, Jesus take the wheel. No, you got to fight for that. Jacob had to fight to get his name Israel. Honor that. Be proud of that. Stop claiming to be African American, Negro, Kemet. Y'all like wearing mini skirts and makeup? Because that's all I see with Kemet. You know, hey, be proud of that. That's something that you should not deny. You know, love being an Israelite. Love it. Embrace it. Grab hold of it and don't let it go. Just like when you find that woman that you love and care about, that you want to be with, you want to love and hold her and embrace her. Same way with this. Same way with this truth. Same way with your nationality. Go ahead, read that again for me, brother.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword.
Right. You know, because you have no right to be claiming what rightfully belongs to us. That's right. You know, you along with them Jewish people. Matter of fact, because it's like y'all want to be us so bad. Like, what's wrong? You know that you're a Hamite. What's wrong with you claiming who you are? Why you gotta claim our stuff? Why you gotta claim to be Israel? Why you gotta take our culture? You know why? Because you're part of that Psalms 83. You part of that you know, hey, we're confederate against ye. We don't need y'all to know your culture. We don't need you. Hey, look, we don't need y'all to come together. Hold up. You know, we don't need you to get your power back. Right. And let me tell y'all something. Our power is not in no gun. It's not being a big time drug dealer. Right. It's not being Big Bank Hank. It's not being an athlete or an entertainer. Our power is God, right. The Most High, Yahweh, and the Hebrew. That's our power. That's our true power. That's where your power comes from. Slovakia. I am looking for Slovakia. Give me 1 second. Hold up. Slovakia, just give me a second. Because, okay, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. Young man Gabriel. We got time for one more scripture. Pick me up at Revelations 9:2. Let me know when you got it. You got it? All right, go ahead and read.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 2.
2 verse 9.
And Salakia.
Sorry, I might have said 9 and 2. I meant 2 and 9. You good, but yeah. This is going to be the last verse, and then we got to close it out. But this is another way that your enemy is trying to keep you down. This is another way an enemy is trying to keep you from your power. But the Most High, he already revealed who his true children are, who the true Jews are, the 12 tribes of Israel. You got that for me? All right, go ahead and read.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
Right.
And I know the...
Stop right there. He knows our works. He knows our tribulation. He knows our problems, our heartaches. You know, the things that we go through, our hardships. You know, but we are rich. How are we rich? Because we're the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of. How are we rich? Because we're going to be in the kingdom. All we got to do is come back together. Christ returns. We get our king. We get back in the kingdom. We're going to be the ones that's rich. We rich now. We rich now just for knowing that we are Israelites. We are rich now just for following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what makes you rich. And we're going to be even more richer once we get into this kingdom, once we come together and get up out of here. Go ahead and read.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
Stop right there. Right, the blasphemy, the lies that they tell. They say that they are Jews. They claim your enemy is claiming our identity. That's what they're doing. They know they're not the real Jews. We know they're not the real Jews. Go ahead and read.
And are not, but are the Salakia.
The synagogue.
Not, but are the of Satan.
Right. But are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. They come from what is it? They so-called temples. You know, they don't worship the Most High. Right. You know, Satan, they call how they call themselves. We Christ. They put that picture of Christ up. Right. You know, and it got everybody thinking that Christ is white, the Jews are white. You know, but they can never tell you where the rest of the 12 tribes was at. Right. And with that, but they are your enemies. Know who your enemies. Know who your enemies are. Get in this I.S.U.P.K. And with that, I'll close the class out. Pass the class over to Priest Officer 500, Hadar Amath.
Shalom, Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. These are security announcements. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They hit the shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, with a command coming from the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and also the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, which means 10th in the Hebrew, my Isupk. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Also, amount you like to give. Next upcoming holy convocation should be the memorial blowing of the trumpets. Understand, taking place September 15th. All right, stay tuned for more details. And reminder for any for all brothers and sisters, all Akim and Akwathians, to check the bulletin board for any updates. And also, for any brother who wants to be a trooper at the school, start wearing all black. That's boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and war scarves. And if you could, try to remember to Google the address for the school. It helps build up the algorithm for the I.S.U.P.K. That is 3353 Glenwood Road, Decatur, Georgia. And with that, we'll give a courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, I.S.U.P.K, which means to stand. Amam Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Absolutely. What we just said in the Hebrew, may the Most High bless you in the name of Christ. Yahweh, tie hands down. We also give a courteous salute for the sisters online. Men of Israel, Amam Shabbat. I.S.U.P.K. Barak. Yahweh Shema Alathan by Hashem Yahushua. And what we just said in the Hebrew, may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yahweh, tie hands down. Class dismissed.
I got you.
For so long you've been sighing and crying, begging for justice, and here the Lord is bringing you justice right here to your streets. City eyes.